Alright, so today I'm going to try to get as much done on the cage as I can. It's probably going to be a pretty long day. I was doing a lot of research and I found some tires that I think are going to work for these wheels. They're going to be really sick. So I'm going to order those up. It's just going to be a lot of bending and cutting and notching and hopefully some welding. So let's get started. I can't get over how crazy these wheels look. I think the first bars I want to build are going to be these door bars right here. They're just the easiest to access and figure it's a good place to start. You can see there used to be door bars, but since I had to drop this whole hoop from the original chassis, I can't use the old door bars. Gotta make some new ones. This is my test bend. When I hold this bend up, I should have a mark with each degree reading on it, and I can know, okay, this bend has to be about 60. Then hopefully that gets me where I need to go. My tubing bender setup. It's a Pro Tools bender. I got used a couple of years ago. It's currently installed in the basement at my parents' house because there was nowhere else that I could drill the concrete that they were okay with. I wrote on my tubing the distances and bends I need just so I don't forget. The tubing's in, and I got my DIY free degree wheel set to my 0 mark. I'm gonna take this all the way to 80. First bend. I now have 17.5 inches between right where this bend ends, right here, and the face of the collar. And hopefully I have enough material. I think I'll be okay though. If you believe it, it looks like my plan actually kind of worked. I've been staring at this thing, using my bend here, measuring stuff, thinking a lot, trying to line things up, and I'm gonna have to, grind off all this scrap stuff from the old cage. I've decided I'm going to put the top door bar as high as I can because even here, roughly 26 inches off the ground, probably, maybe less. Just because if I have a side impact, the odds that there's a bumper, this Subaru is pretty low, and the top door bar is going to be around here if I make it as high as I possibly can. So it's going to primarily be a street car. So the cage is just for my own safety and my own peace of mind. I pray that I'm never in an accident, but if I am, I'd like it to be as safe as possible. It's honestly hard to work on this thing because I stand back and I look at it. Just stare at it. Walk around and stare at it. I don't think that there's ever been anything like this built ever. This is a one-of-a-kind thing going on here. It is actually necessary, by the way, for the engine to stick out the hood because the oil pan is just barely protected within the chassis. So if this thing is scraping down the road, I should never suffer any damage to any drivetrain components, which is exactly what I want. I got one down, and I got I don't know, like don't know, like 2 or 3 more to go. Our cutting wheel down to the nub. Just to do that. Kinda sucks. Looking a little better now. Alright, I got a lot of this stuff roughly cleaned up on this side now. Over here, all of that's gonna have to go. So, busted out the sawzall. It's starting to rain right now. It's starting to rain kind of hard and my stuff is going to get all wet, all my bare tubing, so I'm going to cover the car up. I have to take this down a little bit further, but it's like 90% of the way there, so that's all. Alright, so I used the tube that I bent for this side and I was able to mock it up in the other locations, and I should be able to pretty much replicate this tube to create the same tube on the other side and then shorten it by like 1.25 inches to make the bottom tube on both sides. So it seems pretty straightforward. Just gotta cut the tubing I need and then I'll get to bending. I got all the tubing notched. I'm about to clean up the chassis and I'm gonna tack them on. Alright, I dug my welder up. Unfortunately, I could not find the welding mass, so I had to do a Harbor Freight run. Time to get these bars tucked in. My SD card filled up, so I had to empty it out, so I didn't record this, but I got the door bars done on this side, the verticals at least. It's starting to get a little dark. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Alright, so I have all 4 door bar verticals in place, tacked in. The last bars for the cage I need to do are going to be the roof bars that go from front to back. There's old bits of tubing, so I'm going to have to pull the roof off the car and clean those up. The roof isn't attached yet, so I can pull that right off. You said there's a 100% chance of thunderstorms by 11 a.m.
No, noon. It's 100% tomorrow, but 40% at noon. Before then, it's just like overcast.
Okay. It's like 10 now. Unfortunately, it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, but I didn't even get these smooth yet, and I don't want to be mean to the few neighbors that are nearby. So I'm gonna call it a night, and I'm gonna have to come back in a couple days probably to finish this, unfortunately. I just wish I got more done today. But you know, everything takes way longer than expected.